Salinas, California.
Then I drove this really cool dude's bus up and down the coast of California in 1995. Then I drove a big rig across Dakota and Utah that some trucker let me drive. And I drove across Texas for about 18 hours to stop in El Paso for a couple of weeks. Drove all the way down to Florida, all the way up to Georgia, Alabama, Kentucky. Drove the piss out of my Chevy Celebrity in 1995. But that doesn't hold a candle to the amount of driving I did since then. When I think about the fucking driving I've done in my life, I think I've spent more time driving than probably doing anything else. I mean, I started to think about truck drivers and shit. It's like, oh yeah, they drive a lot. It's the Uber drivers that drive the most, man. I kid you not, dude. You ain't seen. I mean, I knew a truck driver. He drove from Florida to Vancouver in a week. He did that in 1 week. I couldn't believe it. And back. He'd do it down and back in a truck. And be home like by 7-8 days. He told me. And he'd stay awake. And I'm sure this truck driver, he was logging the books off the books and whatnot, yeah. But he had like all this group going, you know. And back in those days, those guys were on pep. They were all amped up, you know. I remember one truck driver couldn't stop moving his hand like this because he held so much crank in it. And I remember these truck drivers, you know, looking at it like, man, you know, some of them like they look like these weird people because we do a lot of meatball sandwiches, Subway sandwiches, and shit like that even before you had Subway. But they would eat the shit out of like, you know, truck stop food and get these weird like bellies on them. But not this one, dude. This dude put this Rolling Stones tape cassette in, and bam, I never forget, he gave me a ride all up Seattle and shit, and Washington, Montana, Southern. Anyway, so I got to thinking about all this driving, man. It's so fucking unhealthy. It's such a fucking unnatural fucking thing. I mean, a motorcycle and a bike, it's like at least, I think, you know, at least you're enjoying the ride more, you know? But that's just like the level of danger. You can just never do that kind of distance safely. I don't think so on a bike, especially in the rain and snow and all that shit. 4 wheels in a car in a closed space at 30 below zero. So, you know, a little bit easier to do in a car than on a bike. But, all the black ice accidents, man. Oh, get pulled over for your trailer. And, you know, I got to thinking, you know, like, aside from the fast food thing, like, you know, I really try to eliminate the fast food thing, but it's like, if you're on the road, man, you can't cook, dude, you have no choice but to eat, you know, what you gotta eat, you know what I'm saying? You're lucky if someone makes you a sandwich. And, especially in the middle of nowhere, but if,